Hello and welcome to World Talks. I'm your host, Sasha Farma. And Hungary, public discontent is making headlines. Over the weekend, Budapest saw major rallies, including a large demonstration led by the emerging TISA party. Now, recent polls also show growing support for the opposition leader, Peter Magyar, now looking to top Orbán himself, now as economic pressures and political fatigue take center stage. At the same time, Hungary's position within the European Union continues to spark debate. Joining us now to discuss it all is Zoltán Tarr, Hungarian MEP with the European People's Party, and also Tisza. Welcome to the program. Good to have you.
Good morning. Good to be here. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Tarr, let me start. Now, we have Tisza in these polls, recent polls, topping ahead of Fidesz. Now, is Hungary here really witnessing, is this that moment, the start of a political shift, or is this just a protest vote against the status quo?
We firmly believe that this is really about change. This is really a very strong wish and sign of the people that they want to change the course of life. We feel very much like in 89 and 90, the same sort of atmosphere, the same sort of energy is emerging. I think more and more people realize that for Hungary, this is the last chance to move Orbán away from power and get back Hungary to its normal route, get back to the route of the European Union, to Europe. This is our last chance, and people are feeling more and more that this is the moment when they also have to step in. So we have more and more people coming and joining us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, this crowd, and we're looking and sharing pictures there, drew thousands. Now, is this support directly for TISA, or is this also just simply a frustration with Orbán? Is it both? How do you characterize it?
Well, actually, what we see is that, I mean, TISA is really a huge sort of movement and party now. I cannot say that we all agree who are in TISA in everything. What we all agree on is that Orbán has to go. The country is in such a despair. The country is in such a difficult situation now that if we cannot change this, then we cannot really stop it anymore. So the people who are here, they are here because they see that there is a chance for change. And we also know that if this change will come, then probably there will be other movements and other parties emerging out of this. But I see more and more people realize that we have to stick together, we have to go together and go against Orbán with peace, with love. Orbán is using the rhetoric of hatred, the rhetoric of exclusion and so on. And that's what I think people are fed up with.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, you said this is the last chance. You said there's a lot of despair by Hungarians. I'm curious, your party gathered about 1 million responses in a national survey. What are the answers that ordinary Hungarians gave you in that? What matters to them?
Well, I think the answers are very interesting, but I would, if I may, I would start with the process itself, because this 1.1 million responses we got it from people less online, more in person. We traveled around the country. We visited all the electoral districts, more than 3,000 towns and cities and villages, and we have met people, we have talked to people, and that is the best part of it. People started to talk. There are dialogues happening on the streets. Politics became an issue again. People are talking about it. This is not that it is restricted only for Orbán and his party. People are taking, they engage in politics, they engage in dialogue, and that is what is very important. And also for us, these questions were crucial because we wanted to find out what people think about certain economic, social, or even healthcare changes. And as we are writing our program for the coming years, we very much will take on these answers and we'll try to put them into action in our plans.
Interesting on those notes what people have said. I mean, it's very unique. We have Hungarians opening up on this scale. You said you've traveled to thousands of locations. I'm curious also to go into a bit of what matters probably a lot to people is, if we're looking at the numbers here, is the economy. If we're looking at the forint, for instance, been down these last 5 years, even before that, even more, losing its value. Economically, it's difficult for Hungarians. Even the Heritage Foundation did this index just recently and has put Hungary really at the bottom there of the European Union. Just on that, what is your reaction and what's your plan? What does your party have to do in future? How would you fix the economy for Hungary?
Well, first of all, this is not really about Hungary, it's about the government of Hungary. For some reason, we don't really understand the psyche behind it, but for some reason, this government led by Orbán is really trying to do everything to make things worse and confuse. He is really leading Hungary to the edge of the European Union. We're much more close now to Belarus and Russia than to the European Union. We are getting apart from Poland as on a government level, while our people, for example, much more feel related and close to Poland and Polish people than obviously to Belarusians or Belarus. Obviously, we like Belarusians who are fighting also against the rule they have on them, but traditionally, historically, we belong to Europe, and in that respect, we also think that this government made it impossible for the European Union to channel the funds which belong to Hungary, to the development of Hungary. And this government blames the EU, Brussels, for it, but we blame the government. And that's why we say that this is really the government against the people in Hungary. It's very similar what you have experienced when you had your change in Poland. This was not easy, but that's what gives us hope. And also with respect to the EU funds, what the Tusk government managed in dialogue with Brussels, that's what we are also hoping for, that if we can show that a new government is committed to change and would like to rapidly get back Hungary to the European Union and its cultural and economic ways, then we do hope that the European Union will be open to channel the funds again to Hungary.
Yeah, let's also, on that subject of European funding, let's just hear what your party leader, Mr. Magyar, has said on that topic. Let's roll that clip now.
The TISA party will bring home the EU funds that have been blocked due to government corruption. By doing so, we will create the basis for the economic and social recovery of society. Unlocking the EU funds alone could boost the economy by at least 1%, which would yield an additional $2.2 billion to the Hungarian budget.
So we heard it there. I mean, the economy might be boosted by at least 1%. This is a lot of money, as we said, 22 billion. You mentioned also Poland as an example, and I also want to ask that because a semi-similar situation, a new government, also frozen EU money, that was eventually released. That was a process. So I'm just wondering, we're looking at timing. How do you see this unfold potentially in a scenario? All these changes. I mean, Orbán's been in power for quite some time. So how long would you see this before tangible efforts would potentially be in bringing some of that money to Hungary?
Well, obviously, in order to realize these changes, first we need to oust this government. And parliamentary elections are scheduled for next spring. We hope this will be the case so that the government will not postpone it. Actually, they are just introducing a new change to the constitution, which even can be interpreted in a way that they will have the opportunity or the possibility to postpone it. But we think it won't be possible because the people won't let it. So first, we have to oust this government. Then, as in the moment as we ousted this government, we have to show the EU that we have credible plans to restore Hungary's economy and Hungary's status in the European Union. We don't have too much time, as you said. Not too much time to prepare, and also not too much time within this this budgetary 7 years. So we have to go very quick, and in order to do that, we learn a lot from Poland, to be honest, and we do hope that if these funds will be freed, as well as if we can stop corruption, there will be a huge financial input to the economy, and which if this will be used wisely, then we hope that we can stop stagnating and can start to grow. That's what all the people hope here in Hungary. Salaries are very low, inflation is high, the highest in the EU, especially concerning groceries. The government is trying all kinds of things, but mostly communication to stop that, and that is not working, and people are seeing in their pockets that this government is just not able to do what it promises to do.
Right. I just want to ask you at the end very briefly, I mean, we've seen other movements, similar style, also trying to break that hold on Orbán. I mean, you have that momentum now, but is this going to be enough to continue? Will you see more? Will this be that moment now where there's a change, and will there be more protests? What's the next step here, just briefly?
Well, first of all, based on these responses, we are finalizing our program. That is very important, so that we will have a very transparent, easy to understand and realistically realizable program for the country. That's one thing. The second thing is that we have to keep up the spirit of the people. For that reason, we keep on traveling the country, touring the country, talking to people. We don't have access to media. In Hungary, public media is owned and totally ruled by the government. For us, social media is the only channel, and the second channel what we have is personal contact. So we have to keep on talking to people in person. And that's what we are going to do. People are excited. People are ready to go, and that's what we are hoping for. That we can keep this up until the elections, and then we will be able to win and take Hungary back to the EU and to all the cooperations we have to cooperate with.
Right, so it sounds like really grassroots politics, talking to the voters one by one. Thank you so much for that. Zoltán Tarr there, Hungarian MEP from TISA, European People's Party. Thank you so much for that today. And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks here on TVP World, but much more coming up, so stay tuned. Bye-bye.